Hi guys.
Hello.
Guys, can you hear me okay? Everybody listening? Loud now!
Yo!
We got an announcement. Right.
Where's she at?
Guys, can you hear me all right?
Quiet in the barn! Quiet in the barn!
Can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Thank you all for being here. My name is Soup Mama, and I am very happy to be here. For those of you that don't know me, I got my start with the People's Convoy last year in Hagerstown, Maryland, where I cooked for the trucks while they went to D.C. Yeah, bunch of great guys. They were all protesting the mandates. You know, we had a lot of really, really great speakers today, and I'm very blessed and very fortunate to know some of you and get to know some new people and see some new faces. It's always wonderful to come to these events and see people and meet people that I haven't met before, because it's inspiring, and that's the key. Today we heard a lot of different ways to approach different problems that we're facing in our society. And in the last year and a half, after creating a nonprofit from the Truckers Convoy, I have traveled 27 states and 2 Canadian provinces by car, supporting freedom fighters all over. But you want to know what's really cool about that? It's not just cool traveling the world, because that's kind of cool. But the coolest part about it is meeting people like you. Because the truth is that I'm nobody special. I never was. What I did was watch Canada when they occupied Ottawa and they pushed back against the mandates. And I was screaming at my screen going, how can I help? Because I was at a point in my life where I was at a breaking point with the government trying to tell me what to do with my body, what to do with my children's bodies. I was tired of them telling me I was non-essential. Who the hell do they think they were? I was essential to my family.
Amen.
My jobs were essential. My income was essential. And it was in losing those I found my voice. I saw Canada, and I couldn't go over the border because of the restrictions at the time, and I was screaming and upset. And then I heard our boys were going to come from Cali and go to D.C. In that moment, my heart leapt because I had felt hope for the first time in a long time. And I said, let's do this. And I said to my family, look, I have to do this. I don't know why, but I have to do this because I can't sit here anymore. Because the complacency was slowly killing me inside. I was at a point in my life, they were impeding on my job, on my family, on what I could do. It was impacting my self-esteem because I didn't know what I could do as a mother.
Sorry. I'm apologizing.
I needed a way to protect my family, and I felt helpless. And when those boys were coming, I said, I'm going to help. I was scared to death. I approached my employer and I said, can I put a donation box in our lobby? I worked at a restaurant. I started a Telegram group. I had never used Telegram before in my life. Never. You should have seen me trying to figure this stuff out. But somehow, through sheer determination, I kept following all their pages on Getter and Facebook and listening to all this stuff coming through. And I created these Telegram pages for not just my county, but we included like 4 other counties. And I created one for Lancaster County as well. Kind of accidentally. But hey, it was cool. And all of a sudden, like, everybody, we all got together and we're there, and they're all like, well, you're the organizer of our group. I'm like, no. No. I just put us all together. So they're like, no. You started this, go ahead. And it started with some food. So I had this group, we talked about it, we were gonna bring food to the trucks. Okay? Because that was simple enough. Easy, simple things that we could do for, well, we'll go down, we're gonna take food. So I made soup at home.
And soup, Mama.
Yeah, that's it. We made chicken rice soup, and we made a beef vegetable soup, and we put them all in quart containers. And then some of the, there was another lady, Leanne, and I, we met up with the convoy in Harrisburg. Because we were driving with the trucks, because nobody knew where they were going to end up. Do you guys remember that? It was all like this big, grand, pirating MapQuest adventure. You just didn't know what was going to happen. There was no real plan. I packed my camp stove, some cooking utensils. Lord, I had a washboard, you know, because I wasn't going with dirty drawers. Washboard and a bucket, ladies and gentlemen, with some Castile.
Well, originally, trucks were going to DC.
Right, but
They wouldn't let us.
But again, there was so much information out there, nobody knew. So I packed like I was going to Ottawa, okay? Because I was like, well, there's there, I'm just gonna pack. I said to my boss, I'm going down to the convoy. I had never really taken many vacations or anything from my job. So for me to be like, hey, I just need to go. And he's like, how long are you gonna be gone?
Borders is definitely where.
I said, well, Canada lasted about 3 weeks. No, maybe about 3 weeks.
Yeah, we lost that in Buffalo.
I have yet to return to my waitressing job. The thing is when I went down there, we put out that food and I had my big soup on it, and when that emptied, there were people who were still hungry. And I looked around me and I thought to myself, I'm looking at these little kids and it was cold outside. I can't let them starve. So I took my camp stove and I started cooking. And that was the start of the Soup Mama Kitchen. It wasn't first known as that, but the start of the Soup Mama Kitchen. And we fed everybody there. We didn't care. We used the donations that were brought in from all of America. We were honoring them, we were turning them into substance, and we were supporting those people. And that was my start. It was simple. It was easy. It was, how can I help? What can I do? What's within my power? Because the truth is that I can't drive a rig. I'm going to learn one of these days, but I can't drive a rig yet. And that's the key word, yet. Because as people, we always have the opportunity with every minute, every second of every day to take that new opportunity, to take that road less traveled, to stand up and to do something different. A lot of times, when we face those choices though, we've been conditioned to worry about what everybody else thinks of us. We're so worried about public opinion. We're so worried about somebody saying something about us that's untrue. We're so worried about, somebody attacking us online or telling people who we are. It's fear that has kept all of us complacent for so long. Whether you're afraid to get sick, whether you're afraid of getting on a plane, whether you're afraid of railroad tracks in your yard right now. And you should be. Because the people who are telling you are safe are lying to you. It all starts with getting the courage to publicly or outwardly say to yourself, enough. This stops when we all stop and say enough. I can't drive a rig, but I can use my voice. I may not be somebody like Donald Trump commanding millions of people's attention, but I am going to stand here and be out here every day that I can and remind people that you need to stand up. You need to stop being worried about what other people think, and you need to start worrying about yourself, your home, your family. You protect yourself with knowledge. You protect yourself by standing up. You protect yourself by getting involved. Because if you just sit at home and watch the TV, they are going to overrun you. The thing is this isn't just, mandates or this or that. This is about the free will of the people. This is about each and every one of us and our God-given rights. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a liberal, a Republican, a conservative, a constitutionalist. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Christian, Hindu, Jewish, Buddha, Native, Muslim. Doesn't matter. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care if you call yourself a man, a woman, or anything else under the sun. You're still a human being with natural rights guaranteed by our Creator. And when these people overstep, it is our job to say no. It is our job to say enough. And we can do it in so many ways. You don't have to stand up on a stage. You can stop buying products from the companies you don't support. Follow the money. Always follow the money when you're researching something. Always. When there's something big going on in the media, find the smaller headlines. If you're upset about drag queen story hours or things going on in your school, you better get to your school board meetings. Because if you don't go there, they don't know you exist. They don't care about your Facebook account. They don't care about your TikTok. What they care about is how many bodies are in that room when they're doing those votes. And if you're not there to use your voice and stand, you will never be heard. It starts at home. It starts with your neighbors. It starts with saying, how can I help? It's the first person to stand. The first person to stand, and they can be the inspiration for many, many more. Every single one of us has the capacity to touch hundreds, if not thousands of people with just one small act of kindness. One small act in your community. The ripple effect is real. That's why the grassroots movement is as big as it is. Because it only takes an act of one to reach many. And in that message, when you're reaching out, that message has to be a unifying message. You have to start putting the personal things aside and start looking at what is the betterment of all of us. What is our main goal? How can we all move in the same direction? If your town, say you're interested in election integrity in your town, form a smaller group out of your big group and say, okay, the 4 or 5 of us are going to work on this part. And then you have another group working on the school board. Take your group of 50 and take little groups in that and concentrate on it and help grow. We have to be unified or they will continue to divide us and we will get nowhere. It's imperative that we put aside the smaller differences to work towards common goals. It's imperative that we get to know each other. It's imperative that we get to trust each other. Because that's sadly lacking in our world today. Can any of you remember the last time you knocked on your next door neighbor's door for something?
Yep.
Okay, a couple.
city folks.
But the majority of the room, when was the last time you met your neighbor? Other than walking to your car, morning.
All the
If
kids.
you even say that.
No worries, man.
There you go. How many of you know your neighbor's first name? Okay, there we got a couple at least. But that's my point, guys. Out of this room, there was a time 20 years ago, if you'd have asked that question, every hand in the room would have went up. We are lacking that. We're lacking that family type unit, that community that we used to have. That's the reason everybody loves this grassroots movement, because when we get together, we're like a giant family. But like a family, we all have differences, and we're all going to have our little quarrels. But at the end of the day, if we all come back and sit down at the table and discuss it with civil discourse, like adults, there is nothing that can stop us. Because there is always a way forward when you're able to have civil discourse with one another. Again, we don't all have to agree, but we can find the common ground when we sit down and when we talk. When we create that community, when we reach out to our neighbors. That's how we do this. One by one if we have to. But one by one we'll stand arm in arm, and our line will grow stronger and stronger and stronger. And we'll have more and more reinforcements. There are a lot of opportunities that you can get involved. And it doesn't matter if you want to get involved locally, on a state level, or on a national level, or on an international level. There are lots of ways to get involved. You have to decide what's right for you. No one can tell you where your right spot is. But each one of you has a gift or a talent that you can offer to a group somewhere. Or you can start a group in your own community and use your talents to help your community. Everybody has that capacity. Whether you make phone calls, write emails, go through somebody's live stream footage, help with a website, print off flyers, make a monetary donation. Any one of those things, sharing information online, those are all helpful things. The most important thing you can do, though, is show up. You need to show up. Because like I said, if they don't see you at the school board meeting, if they don't see you at the town hall, if they don't see you at the courthouses when they're making their decisions, they are not going to hear you. If you don't make those calls to your legislator, they don't know what you want. But if you nail those letters, you can hold them accountable because you're creating a paper trail. And you can say to them, I wrote you on this date, I wrote you on this date, I wrote you on this date. Why have I gotten no responses? And there is legal recourse for that. There are groups out there that do that. If you're not sure where to find them, please send me a message or email me or stop me somewhere and I will hook you up with a group somewhere that is working on that issue or get you in touch with someone who can get you where you need to be. Because this doesn't happen on its own. And a lot of people like to do this, but they don't walk the walk. You need to understand the people you're dealing with, you need to know. So you want to make sure you're following those people that are doing what they say and they're telling you what they're going to do. Because transparency is important. Honesty and integrity are important, and standing up for your beliefs is important. And as long as you're standing in those things, you are completely unshakable no matter who comes at you. Like I said, guys, I'm just a nobody from the state of Pennsylvania. I went down to a convoy with a camp stove and a soup pot.
No, you're not. You're a connection. Hey, you're so
But I kind of evolved, you're right. And now I'm soup mama, and now I'm all everyday endeavors to make a positive change in this world for our future generations. Because if we don't start doing this for them right now, they will not have anything left for the future. All it takes is that one little question. How can I help? Thank you very much, guys, for having me.